Hello there and welcome to the Chelsea versus Liverpool preview. Now, Klopp has just done his press conference, or he's actually still maybe possibly in the middle of it, but I thought there was some, key information in there that I could just start making a video on the preview anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are ahead of the game tomorrow, and who do you think should be starting and who do you think should not be starting tomorrow? Let me know it in the comments below. Now, one of the key things that he said is it will not be one of the exact same team that we played against Shrewsbury in the last time out, which I think every one of us expected that. It's not going to be the youthful team, right throughout the team against Chelsea, because, I'm not saying that the young lads wouldn't do a good job. They would probably they'd do the best that they could, but Chelsea they're not going to play all of their younger, less experienced players. They're going to play their more experienced players, their likes of Kovacic and all those people. Yes, they will have their own players missing. Apparently, they'll have Kante missing. I haven't properly looked at Chelsea's lineup and who they will be missing, but they'll be missing some key players, but they'll still have a lot of experienced players as well. Now, we will probably do a mixture, if anything. Probably, the ratio of it will be more experienced first-team players than it will be youth players. But I think there's still scope to have some young players in there. Now, Klopp has also defended Dejan Lovren, saying that if everyone is blaming Lovren for yesterday's performance, or the performance against Watford, I should say, then he doesn't know what to do to help them. It wasn't just Lovren's performance. He had a difficult job against Troy Deeney, but it was also the formation around him that could have helped out as well. And while he's probably, obviously I'm not going to disagree with Klopp on that one, I still feel that a lot of the problems that we had against Watford lay at Lovren's door, and I stand by that myself, which is why I don't think that he will play against Chelsea. I really don't think that he will play at all. Now, what I mean by the younger players coming in, I'll go through the lineup that we had against Shrewsbury in full. Kelleher in goal, Williams, Hover, Van den Berg, Adam Lewis, they were the back four. Clarkson, Chirivella, Kane were the middle three. Harvey Elliott, Liam Miller and Curtis Jones were the front three as well. Now, we've had it confirmed that because Harvey Elliott played in the Youth European League or something like that, or whatever it was, he's played in, or he's abroad somewhere. Didn't exactly read it properly, but he's not going to be available tomorrow night, which he was actually one of the players that I was looking at thinking Harvey Elliott should be in this game, but he won't be. So that's a little bit disappointing, because I would have liked to have seen him against Chelsea. I would like to see him, he would have had a hard game against Reece James, no doubt, but still, I would have liked to have seen him come up against Premier League opposition. It would have been nice, even at the age of 16, would have been good to see him come in there. And also to freshen things up front as well. Now, in terms of that whole lineup that we just had against Shrewsbury, how I feel that we'll line up tomorrow against Chelsea, or today, because this video will go out in the morning, but it's recorded the day before. I truly believe we'll get a good mixture. Not as much as I thought that we would with Harvey Elliott and such like that, but anyway, I think we'll get a good mixture. I still think that you could go with either Alisson or Adrian in goal. Not saying that Kelleher wouldn't do a good job, but I think he probably wants to go for a bit more experience, and if anything, might go for Alisson. But don't be surprised if Adrian's in there as well. Not as well, in place of. Williams at right back, I'm a fan of. Let's do it. Hover, probably not. Out of the two, you'd probably go with Van den Berg, and it'd probably be Van den Berg and Van Dijk. That would be quite a good partnership to see. If he wants to throw a curveball and perhaps rest a Van Dijk, which I don't really see happening, but if he wants to do one, then you could probably also see Van Dijk. If he rests Van Dijk, you'd probably see Matip in. Much more a fan of Matip coming in than Lovren, as I think most of the fan base are as well. But if I think the partnership could be Van den Berg and Van Dijk, I think that could be a nice partnership. Van den Berg has done really well recently with the younger teams, and he had a good game last time out against Shrewsbury as well. So I think that could be a really nice one as well. I don't know on the fitness of Larouci at left back, but Adam Lewis played a decent game against Shrewsbury, and he could very well come in. Andy Robertson could also come in as well. You never know which one that they're going to go with. Probably Robertson might come in. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be a good scope to have Adam Lewis come in at that level. But if anything, having a Van Dijk and Andy Robertson in there could be really good. And I'd like to see Nico Williams getting a shot against Chelsea, against Premier League opposition, and the same goes for Van den Berg. I think that could be a good combination of that back four. Now, the middle three in the midfield, there could be some changes, and there's a lot of scope for changes, a lot of scope for options that we've got as well, depending on system that we play, but most likely the 4-3-3 will stick with what we've got. I think that Chirivella deserves a chance to start in this game. I think he deserves a chance more than anything because he's been here for so long, but also because he's played very well for us in the first team whenever he's come in. And I'd like to see him have a go. Fabinho definitely could be there. He definitely could be in there. You could see a Chirivella, Fabinho and Naby Keita midfield, and I'm a fan of that. You've got scope then to change the system if you needed to. You can have it as a 4-3-3 or you can have it as a 4-2-3-1 because Chirivella and Fabinho could go holding. You could see other curveballs by Klopp. We never know really what he's going to go with. You could see Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield. You could see Lallana come in. We don't know. But I would like to see a Naby Keita, Fabinho and Chirivella. I think that could be a nice midfield as well. Now, Harvey Elliott would have been my choice in the front line, but obviously he's not going to be there. So what will probably happen, what I would like to see happen, is Curtis Jones has got to be in this team somewhere. Now, whether you put Curtis Jones in the midfield, and that could be a good option as well, then you could have a Chirivella, Curtis Jones, Naby Keita sort of midfield. Maybe there's not enough steel in that midfield, I don't know. But it would be a very progressive and creative midfield. That could be a decent option as well. So, Curtis Jones needs to be in this team somewhere. Now, I might actually just change that. So you could go Fabinho, Chirivella, Curtis Jones. Why not? That could be decent. I think that could be quite nice going forward. Or if you want to take Fabinho out completely, then you go with Curtis Jones, Chirivella, and Naby Keita. I think that's a nice midfield. Let me know what you think of that. Up front, you'd have to go with Sadio Mane because he's been our most consistent player for God knows how long now. Had an off day against Watford, but so did the entire first team. So it's not really down to just one person, even though I've levelled most of my criticism at Dejan Lovren. Never mind. But Mane, I think, gets in for me. Over on the right-hand side, it would have been Harvey Elliott for me, but it will most likely be Mohamed Salah. And up front, I'd like to see Minamino. Now, only because, and it follows on nicely from my Bobby Firmino video that I've done that got put out on Monday. I haven't really seen anyone's response to that yet, but we'll see what happens with that one. It's not really great criticism of Bobby Firmino. He's just not on it right now. It's just not happening for him, and it just looks a little bit legless, if that's a good word to use. It just looks like he just needs a bit of a breather out of the spotlight, and I think it'd be nice to have someone like Minamino, maybe in the false nine or as a number 9, however, or whichever way you want to play it. You can play him out wide and you could have Salah going down the middle, whichever way you want to do it. But I'd like to see Minamino coming in. Some people may call for Divock Origi. There is always a good chance that Origi can play. He's got a lot more experience in the Premier League. Obviously, it's not a Premier League tie, but it's against a Premier League team. They'll be wanting to win this game because they'll want some silverware with their top 4 chances looking increasingly week by week like they're going down. They'll want to win a trophy. They'll want to, go for this game hammer and tong. I personally feel that the best way to get through Chelsea's defence is to go at it with pace. Pace, good feet and good agility. And I think that with Mane, Salah and Minamino, you get that in abundance. And I think that could be a really good attacking front three. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do I think that this game's going to go down? We've played Chelsea twice this season so far, and both games were exceptionally tight. I think we got the 2-2 in the Super Cup, won on penalties, and I think we won 2-1. I can't remember if it was at Stamford Bridge or not, but yeah. Anyway, and we're playing away again. It's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a really tough game, and a lot of people will be looking for us to bounce back. Obviously, I think that we do have the ability to bounce back. I just personally feel that is a nice lineup to go with, freshens it up a little bit, gets some of the younger lads more of a chance, gives Minamino a chance to put his impression on the game. When he came on against Watford, he's got minimal time to make a difference in a game that was already really, really flat. So I personally feel that is a good lineup to go with. I think that we can get the victory here, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. But I really think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be difficult. And it's not going to be easy whatsoever. Words I've said over and over about almost every fixture this year, and yeah, I stand by that. I think it's going to be a difficult game, 2-1 for Liverpool, but it's going to be hard. It can go either way, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How would you line up this Liverpool team, and how do you think it's going to come? How do you think it's going to end on the night? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.